When done properly, the internet, screens, and particularly social media can provide 5 essential elements of adolescent well-being: a sense of control over one's environment, individuation, self-expression, a connection to others, and acceptance. And then there is the abyss. Welcome to App-Propriate, a podcast designed to give you a little taste into the positives and negatives of the most popular social media apps, so that you and your most importants can make more informed, healthy, and safer choices when it comes to interacting through your screens. I'm your host, Joe Langford. Note that I said safer, not safe. Interacting through screens with other humans contains a degree of natural risk, just like real life. And I believe that education leads to empowerment, and I hope this information helps add a degree of safety, social responsibility, and good digital citizenship to your social networking and the conversations you have about it with your family. Today's episode is about FaceApp. Though not technically social media, FaceApp shares DNA with the media sharing and content curation categories, and the AI-powered selfie editing app has been causing viral concern again. Created in 2017, the app, which lets you alter photos of your face, once again has gone viral after celebrities, influencers, and a bunch of other mortals began sharing doctored photos of themselves, this time wrinkly and aged beyond all reason. Like popular face filters you might find on Snapchat or other similar platforms, FaceApp lets users alter photos to make themselves appear younger or differently gendered, or in this most current iteration, super old. There are loads of places that users can do photo altering like this, but FaceApp specifically has both become one of the most downloaded apps for both iOS and Android, and sparked a good deal of concern as hashtag FaceApp challenges and posts have flooded social media feeds. More than 100 million people have downloaded the app, making FaceApp the top-ranked app in dozens of countries, and alarms have been raised around a handful of concerns, including Russia, FaceApp's country of origin, privacy issues associated with FaceApp and the rights you grant them by using the app, and the bigger picture culture of apps that farm our information and why. FaceApp is owned by a company, Wireless Lab, which is based in St. Petersburg. And given the current political climate in America, it is understandable why this raises some red flags, pun only kind of intended. Investigations around these concerns have not produced any evidence to support these concerns as of the time of this cast, though there are some other pink flags to consider. Using FaceApp requires a data connection, which has caused concern that the app is pilfering users' photo libraries without consent. Again, multiple security researchers haven't found any actual evidence of this. However, as many people's photo streams can contain personal information as well as personal images, and given FaceApp's permissive terms of service and a privacy policy that allows data to be potentially transmitted across borders and jurisdictions, it's impossible to say that this concern is unjustified. Even though FaceApp's TOS states that users still own their own content, which means your face, the company owns a never-ending royalty-free license to basically do whatever they want with that content. Their terms of service specifically states, you grant FaceApp a perpetual, irrevocable, non-exclusive, royalty-free, worldwide, fully paid, transferable sublicense to use, reproduce, modify, adapt, publish, translate, create derivative works from, distribute, publicly perform and display your user content and any name, username, or likeness provided in connection with your content in all media formats and channels now known or later developed without compensation to you. When you post or otherwise share user content on or through our services, you understand that your user content and any associated information such as your name, location, or profile photo will be visible to the public. And that may or may not be dangerous in and of itself, and kind of depends on what ongoing investigations discover, but they do still own a license to do whatever they want with your images, which could result in run-of-the-mill obnoxiousness such as targeted ads, creepiness like finding a version of your image used in ads on a Moscow billboard or something, or very concerning issues such as your face used for training some AI facial recognition algorithm for the military, or used by someone to commit voter fraud. Regardless, It's good digital literacy to be wary when any app wants boundary-free access or a license to your digital content and/or identity. To make FaceApp actually work, you have to give it permissions to access your photos, all of them. And users have reported that the app was still able to find and upload photos from their library even after permission to access camera rolls had been denied. Apple's iOS, for example, specifically allows users the ability to select individual photos for use and upload, while protecting full camera roll access, which makes these claims particularly concerning. A further concern, Facebook also asks for access to users' Siri and search functions, and it refreshes in the background, so even if you're not using the app, it may still be using you, and maybe uploading their information to the cloud. Now, FaceApp claims no user data is transferred to Russia, even though its research and development team is based there. FaceApp has confirmed that it processes the app's gender-bending or age-accelerating special effects in the cloud, specifically that they might store photos users have uploaded via Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud for short periods for performance and traffic reasons. Now, they've also reported that most images are deleted from their servers within 48 hours of being uploaded, but they have been less than clear to users that processing of the data is not happening on the user's devices, as most photo editing applications perform edits on the app on your phone, not in the cloud. The problem with FaceApp doing this is once something is uploaded to the cloud, you lose all control over whether or not you've given away legal license to your content. And this may matter more to some people than others, but what we've learned in the last few years about viral apps that collect data is that they're not always what they seem. The data is not always collected or stored safely or securely, nor is it used for the obvious or stated purpose. In this post-Cambridge Analytica world in which thousands of people have had their personal data misused because of what appeared to be a typical everyday personality quiz, it is responsible for us to be curious about and wary of the ways our data can be collected and used by app developers. FaceApp is not the first app to raise concern about these issues. From data leaks to photos being used non-consensually to train facial recognition tools and pad government databases, there are a plethora of examples of gamification of our data. Type in your middle name and see what happens next. Find your crime-fighting name by entering your mother's maiden name and the car you drive. Brain-wowing math patterns involving the year you graduated high school plus your birth date minus your street address. Find out what cartoon character you most resemble by uploading a photo of your face. FaceApp is just another example of how tech companies may quietly collect a ridiculous amount of innocent-seeming data for reasons that are not always immediately clear. FaceApp's policy states that they collect information sent by your device or our service, including the web pages you visit, add-ons, and other information that assist us in improving the service. And though it states that we will not rent or sell your information to third parties outside FaceApp, it also says that it does share information with third-party advertisers. I said FaceApp has been causing viral concern again at the top of this podcast because the app had already made headlines in 2017 for its racist selfie filters that lighten some users' skin tones, and then again in early 2018 for a series of ethnicity-changing filters that were also deemed super racist. This most recent concern and controversy may end up being overblown, but it is another dot on a line of very iffy behavior that FaceApp seems to be intent on drawing. It's also a sign that maybe we've learned a bit from the duplicity and disaster of Cambridge Analytica and so many other similar data privacy predicaments. FaceApp might be hilarious and super tempting and probably not the harbinger of an international conspiracy, but there are reasons to pause before hitting send with your personal information, including uploading personal photos to the cloud, which again is not standard practice for most photo editing apps. They're vague and permissive terms of service that allow for commercial use of people's personal data, and unclear answers about where that data ends up, how long it stays there, and what else it's being used for. If you have or do choose to use FaceApp, tread carefully, and don't log in, which will help limit their ability to specifically identify you, even if they do keep your images. Be wary of any app asking for information that you might be reluctant sharing with some rando sitting next to you on the bus or in a movie theater. If it's personal information about yourself that you wouldn't share with the person behind you in line at the grocery store, then don't share it in an app or a goofy social media game. Technology companies and app developers benefit from gathering information about us. Many times this is above board and isn't really a problem, but sometimes those tools are designed to be fun and engaging and to dupe and manipulate us into handing over our data, making us accessible and abusable. Good digital citizenship dictates that we explore and think critically about not only the apps we use, but the privacy and security settings in the ones we do. That we understand how our information may be made vulnerable, and that we do our best to protect ourselves and our data. Best practices for this include maintaining good password hygiene, making them creative, not using the same one in different locations, and not sharing them with others. Don't accept friend or follow requests from people that you don't know. Yes, even if they're super hot. Using two-factor authentication, an extra layer of security that basically has you identify yourself twice when logging in, which is available on most responsible social media sites. Turning off the GPS function on your camera and location sharing of your photos. Keeping your social media apps updated to protect against hacking, because procrastinating around updates can make you vulnerable. And of course, not playing silly games or challenges that lack any social or situational benefit. Thank you for listening. I'm Joe Langford. I'm a therapist, a sex and tech educator, and a dad, and I specialize in helping families navigate that intersection of adolescence, sexuality, technology, and behavior. More information about me and my work to promote healthy, positive, and safer sexual and social behavior, both online and off, can be found at my website, beheroes.net.
The advice presented in this podcast is a form of education and is intended to provide general information about common though broad topics that impact underage people. Specific circumstances and facts may make said advice unsuitable and/or other actions necessary for individuals. This podcast is meant to be an adjunct, not a replacement, for IRL experience, professional advice, and good old-fashioned common sense. In addition, much of the information included here can and most likely will change with time, culture, and the rapid development of technology. BeHeroes.net does not seek nor accept any monetary gain or financial support from any social media platform mentioned. BeHeroes.net is committed to providing quality consulting, coaching, product, speaker, and contracted therapeutic services, advocacy, and resources to clients, visitors, customers, colleagues, and fans. Appropriate is produced by BeHeroes.net.